Hello Marvel Heroes fans! A while ago, when Winter Soldier just came out, I've created a video on him and in versus Curse, and it didn't go as well as I hoped it would be. So I mean, I was right. The hero wasn't that ready when it first launched. So after that, Gazillion has taken our feedback and reworked on the hero a little bit and fixed some of the bugs and issues and so on. So he has become really strong right now. I mean, in my opinion, he has become really strong. I've created a video earlier on one of the Doom stealth run, and I think if you have watched the video, would agree with me that it's actually pretty relaxing taking him to any cosmic terminal. And so as promised, this video is about talking about his build, talking about the gear that I have, and also run you through a few boss combat to just give you a feel about how he plays like when it comes to cosmic terminal farming. And before I go there, just a few very general stats on how, you know, my Winter Soldier, what is his stats about. I'm just your average player, you know. I don't really have that much time playing, but I have what I have, and you know, and I use what I commonly, I mean, all these are very common gear that you can find here. So I'm hoping that if I can achieve something, you can achieve even better. So if you look at my Winter Soldier, his crit is about his range crit, which is more important, or physical crit that is more important, is about 54.6%. So that is pretty good. But it's close to 55%. His crit damage rating is over 300%, 315. Brutal strike is 55%. So you know, it's pretty alright. Yeah. Brutal damage is 541%. Yeah. So I think these are pretty strong stats. And I look at my damage rating. I just did a calculation just now. If I add my damage rating plus the physical plus the range, it comes up to about 400% over the base damage. So you know, all in all, he's a pretty awesome hero on stats. So I mean, so I thought, yeah. Let me just take you through some of the terminal, and after that I'll come back to the training room and talk about his power and stuff like that, alright? Okay, this is Winter Soldier versus Cosmic Curse. What I do is that I'll try to keep my stealth up, and then after that I do a conceal, which is like so that you can't really see me. I'm not really in a very good position, so there you go. Just, when in doubt, just keep stealthing and everything will be fine. See, you can't even touch me. No, you can't touch me. So, yep. There you go. Nope. One more time, maybe. Come on. So yeah, it's very relaxing when you come to play Curse and Winter Soldier. So I may do another tick for the for other boss. All right. Okay, this is Winter Soldier versus Cosmic Kingpin. So as always, I go in debuff and DOT and do a execute. And then after that, you can't see me. No, you can't see me. Oops. No, you can't see me. That's it. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, he's not. I mean, I think that's pretty fast in today's standard. So yeah, let me do another boss. So this is Winter Soldier versus Magneto. Okay, so this is not a very friendly. Yeah, come on, man! I can't even get him. He keep running around. Yeah, let's go. So, yep, that's it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, with the right kind of core, you can really eat through anything, even Magneto's the Doom thing. Yeah. So yeah, that is Winter Soldier and Magneto. Okay, so I hope by now you have seen how Winter Soldier performed in the Cosmic Terminal, and I hope you like what you see. I certainly love what I've seen, and you know, this bit's about talking about the build and so on. I know some of you requested me to take away the gear when I talk about the power tree, so I just have done that for you. It is very much similar to what I've configured for my, for the hero when it's first launched. The only difference is that I no longer use this Withering Fire because Now they remove the cooldown, and also I'm not really good at this kind of like 20 hit kind of power, because as the boss move around, I tend to miss a lot, like trying to follow the cursor, and because of latency and whatnot, it just most of the time I waste it. And now it's even no reason to take it, because it has a cooldown 1 second instead of like a longer cooldown last time. So it is, you can't reblend it into your rotation. You have to choose between either 3-round burst or the Withering Fire. So I pick 3-round burst anytime. And without that, in fact, what I've done is that I picked this guy up instead. So for my range build last time, I didn't take this because that it's really no point to weaken the target. But now, besides weakening the target, it is actually damage overtime to it. So it's very nice. You can apply damage overtime through here, and you can apply the damage overtime through this Nightfall as well, which is part of the brutal combat tree. So it gives you the kind of like 2 damage overtime as a range build. Very nice. And for you may recall that for Winter Soldier, you can either pick the Enhanced Arsenal, which to me is more like a range build because it buffs the firepower on the left hand side, versus the other one, the Enhanced Bionic, which is to buff the power on the right hand side. And the interesting about this whole design, if you have you must have read all these tooltip anyway, is that it encourages you to use the power from either side. So when you use when you hit with the brutal power, you actually will have a cost reduction, and then also firepower plus a lot of firepower as well. So it's on this side. So you got the rotator too, but it's fine because you need these 2 DOT to work, damage over time to work together anyway. So the play style is very much like, oh, by the way, I've got this one is no brainer. Is passive is wonderful. So I max both of his passive for Winter Soldier. As for, okay, so what should I talk about first? Okay, so I talk about this 3-round burst as my single target spender. I talk about this as my DOT layer, and this one I like the execute kind of like component to it, and it has a cooldown, but that's fine. So whenever it is on cooldown, just unload it to whichever target that you want to hurt the most. So that's part of the firearms. As for the living weapon, I've got 1 point here. Double time is a very nice kind of walk. Let me show you. So it walks something like this, and it costs relatively lesser spirit. So the only thing is I can't fit it on the toolbar, and I like the reposition as well because it gives me the stealth, right? It gives me a stealth component that's repositioned. So for that is where you'll see my Doom video, whereby I can just get away with anything, just keep stealthing my way through, and it's it's cool. This is his signature. It's wonderful signature. It's very very powerful. This one I only put 1 point in it because it does not break stealth. It's great, and it terrifies as well. So it's like a stun kind of like Black Widow also have the same thing. But because it doesn't have any damage overtime layer to it, and I have other points to allocate elsewhere, so I just 1 point it, and I think it's fine 1 point it, and it gives me a vulnerability debuff that with 10% damage across my power, so it's wonderful. As for this tree, I mentioned that Nightfall is great because it gives me damage over time. Also, because as a firearms player, you need the other side to give you a buff on that side. So this is the logical one to pick. This one is very useful. The concealed combat. Now whether you need to max it or not is personal choice. I personally don't find anywhere I want to max, so I think this one is good. The passive power is good, and the best thing about it is that it becomes invisible for the real time. Now, and so his gameplay is very much like you do a sabotage to debuff, and then after that you do a damage overtime 1, damage overtime 2, and then you use execute, and then and then you can lay this signature there. You can go conceal yourself, continue to hit with 3-round bursts, and all these are 8-second timer, so it's very nice. I mean, this is an 8-second timer on DOT, 8-second timer on damage over time as well. So I use this 8-second cooldown for the for a timer. So if I know that this is finishing, I will reapply again. So it's very nice. The Winter Soldier is beautiful when I don't need to keep like the Psylocke. I have to keep like all these different timer going on for Winter Soldier. Just 8 seconds, 8 seconds, 8 seconds, right? Now the whole, okay, let me just put all my gear back on first, because it's easier to talk about it. Now the whole build that I built around, because I don't really put a lot of like a very great Gem of the Curse or whatnot, Hand of Doom into a hero. I just use an average item, and I find that this cloaking device, by the way, is extremely great, because it gives me a 767 damage rating, which is about, you divide by 40, by the way, it gives you percentage, is about close to 20% on top of your damage. So I have 400% plus 20 is good. I mean, these are all flat increase, right? And it's been scaled up by your crit, scaled up by your brutal. And I don't think there's any artifact that has this kind of damage. Now, to get the best out from this one, you have to go stealth most of the time. But you've seen my Doom video, you've seen my just now the Cosmic Boss fight as well. Most of the time I'm in stealth, and I also make sure that before I use the signature, before I unload these big ticket items, damage so-called, and I will just go stealth first. I just stealth first, and then I dump my signature to it, and then they explode, because that become like an unaware target, right? So I do that all the time to just consciously, and I can do a conceal combat as well, and now I'm eternal. I mean, I'm concealed for 5 seconds. I can do all this wonderful thing, all being buffed up by this 767 damage rating, which is really, really good. But as for the other artifacts, I mean, I'm using this one is, I think it's very common for any physical heroes. If you don't have a big budget, like all this nice artifact, I mean, this is a good enough artifact. I'm a big fan of Kingpin's artifact, because it gives me the health, give me the damage rating, defense rating. I mean, you look at him, he may not be as great as you see in any other forum or whatnot, but I mean, he's decent, right? Then I use this one as well, the Metasensory, give me a damage buff, so my flat damage is pretty high. Then +1 damage. And as for the artifact, the medallion is something quite embarrassing, because I was still hoping one day that I can switch between the melee and range build. I still would like to try the melee build, and I will. And in order to do that, I envisage myself to use a Taskmaster medallion, because it has both range and melee. Because, well, this is a cheap version. A more better version, of course, is Spider-Man, right? Because it gives me the melee and the range, if you want to play melee and range. However, having said that, I'm likely to change it to a Shocker, because give me a much higher physical damage. But as you see, I mean, he's alright. Gunil as my legendary, no, I don't think you can contest to that in a sense. So I just take his unique. So I mean, these are all his unique, very nice. The only thing that I take another one is I don't take his unique this slot, because it has melee buff to it, which I don't like as a range build. So I actually use this one, and it's not bad. Again, it is like a damage versus the target not attacking you. 200 damage rating is about 5%, right? So, and it gives me a whole big chunk of health, as well as the +1 to power. It's +2 now because of my item grade to 69, and this one is also item grade 69. I am lucky enough to get a +1 fighting, and I'm keeping it. So yeah, and then this one is again, this one is, you just use this unique, and it's great. Yeah, I haven't even given him a good relic. So I mean, don't follow everything I said here, right? I mean, you have to make your own decision as well. If you really love your Winter Soldier, of course you get him the plus crit damage rating instead. But I can't give it to every hero, can I? So since he doesn't really need everything that all the nice things, so I just give him. I mean, it's decent defense rating. Okay, so this is interesting. I have chosen River of the Soul because of the previously that's what I've done. When it first launched, was quite intensive in terms of spirit. But now I look at him, is actually I may not need this one. I can actually change it to the one that I mean, if you really love him, give him a low-key rune, God of Mischief. Otherwise, there's another rune work that's specially for range as well. So you can choose that too. Don't need to copy everything I've said, all right? But the only thing that you worth copying is this guy here. I think it's a good stuff. Then for this, yeah, previously I had a lot of spirit issues, so I chose this one. But if you look at his this insignia, it works quite well with Winter Soldier as well, because it gives you a range power proc on the crit rating as well as the crit damage rating, which is very desired in today's playtime. This is what 400 crit damage rating divided by 80 is where the percentage is. So it's like, you know, yeah, another 5% there. So yeah. In terms of costume core, I'm lucky enough to have the invulnerable, which is very nice. I pop it, I can eat Magnetos Doom. You've seen it on my video. Also regenerate health and spirit, which I don't think I need, but you know, it's good. The rest of it all crit damage, because you know it's great stuff. You know, for legendary and costume core, I always said go for crit damage, but for the rest you can do a calculation. I'm going to make another video another time. So I hope that covered all his gear, and the next thing probably I would like to talk about is the Omega system. Ooh, I still have so much to allocate. So I haven't fully allocated. Yeah, I haven't played him so long. So between then and now, I earn another 900 Omega point. Not bad. So yeah, okay. So Spin Tech is one that worth investing. This one is no-brainer, up to 5. YSC7, 5, 5. Yeah, there's another video on how I allocate Omega point. Not going to talk about it right now here. This one is for the crit, so I put points in it. I just grab enough for the brutal damage there. I think it's good enough. Again, it's by my formula calculation. This one is for the brutal as well, so I want to up the brutal. It's good. And Guild Suppression is here. Alright, so but if you are melee build, then you probably want to take this one as well, because this one is pretty good for melee. And then after that, range, I don't really have anything else to say here. Then this one is all brutal. Then this one is plus fighting. So again, if you are melee build, you probably want to take something here as well, because these are very good for melee. Yeah, okay, so that is basically wrapped up the whole Omega system. So you know, with my extra point, where will I be investing? I mean, oh man, I mean that it come to a point where I think I can't wait until they open up the new Omega system, you know, tree that is locked right now. But I think most likely I'll go into the range power, or look into other places that has some range to it, just to buff my one of these has a range to it, so just to buff my range power. I think this one here, yeah. So you know, I probably work on those notes that I just highlight for the range power for my remaining notes. So I hope this video is useful, and as always, you can drop me a comment here, and I'm more than happy to answer any of your questions, any of your requests. So yeah, have a nice day. Winter Soldier, yeah, good stuff.